Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, we're back with you. We have got the co-author of the newly released book, Hollywood Lights and Nashville Nights, and was a Hee Haw honey, a comedian, and broke Elvis Presley's heart. Diana Goodman McDaniel, good morning.
That's funny. Hey.
How are you, girl?
I'm awake.
Oh, that's good.
That's the way I feel, too. Yeah. That's all I can say this morning. I'm awake.
And you're not in your pajamas. I figured you'd be in your pajamas.
I'm not in the top part.
Well, we ain't either.
Waist down.
We sitting here just making fun. I got Steve Thompson on. We was making fun of his leg. He's the eye candy of the show.
Hey there. I'm the eye candy.
I know that's the best we could do. Yeah. But we got Jerry over here, and she brought us a whole thing of what is it? Banana nut bread and
banana nut, and then apple, walnut, sour cream, coffee
goodness.
cake.
You're a cook. Yeah. You're a cook too, ain't you, girl? Look at that, man. I love it. I love it. So
I would be large if I was working there.
You know, my feelings is hurt. I came in this morning. I've been on a diet, and I was kind of prancing around here, showing off my new physique because I'm down a pound, and nobody even noticed.
Congratulations!
Look at that.
With all that banana bread there, you're probably gonna gain it back today.
There you go. I'm with you on that. But anyway, yeah, we just wanted to of course, you got the recently released book, Hollywood Lights and Nashville Nights, which kind of tells about your story with Hollywood and all the stuff that's going on with that. But the new movie that everybody's talking about is the new Elvis movie, and you was actually at the premiere of that.
I was. Well, one of them.
Well, tell us about it. We want to know we want the insight. You know, it's always based on a true story, and then find out there wasn't much truth about it.
You mean the movie itself?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, there were some things out of order and, some inaccuracies that I didn't notice as much during the movie because I was just so caught up in that movie. I mean, because it was about Elvis and the music and just remembering him and how he got from, where he started to the life that he had created for himself. So, and then in the end, I guess the part that in the end, you're crying, obviously.
Right.
It's very sad. But then it's almost like from 72 until he died, there was no life. I mean, that they left out a gigantic chunk of the rest of his life, so to speak.
Well, it's like after him and Priscilla got divorced, it went right to the end, seemed to me like. I mean, that's kind of what.
Yeah,
Don't
they
give
left
away
out.
the story.
It was as if we never existed.
Right.
Like he didn't have any more girlfriends or shows or and the generosity. He was known for giving away, Cadillacs and whatever. He was so generous. Mm-hmm. And we didn't see any of that in the movie. And I know you can't put everything, but I feel like that was a major thing about him. He had humble beginnings and then became a rock star, literally. And along the way, the more he got made, the more he gave away. And even in the movie, it said something about, your spending habits. Well, a lot of that was because he just loved to share. And I think his love language must have been gifts, because it wasn't how much he received. He just loved. I mean, he gave me stuff all the time, and I was like, not giving him anything.
Well, I think it's because he come from nothing, because actually he come from nothing whatsoever, and then made a lot of money. But now,
and he wanted everybody to feel what he felt. Share the wealth.
Right. Literally. But he is still a megastar to this day. It's unreal how he's still a megastar to this day. But now, when you and him together, did he realize how big of a star he was, or was he just kind of, okay, we got another show to do, let's get it done where we can ride some four-wheelers?
Well, he knew that he was popular.
Right.
He knew he was popular. He couldn't go anywhere. But he still had that same, like he would get butterflies. He'll get nervous before he went on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I had never seen him in concert until he took me to his concert.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first time I saw him, I went with him, sat there almost like beside the stage where he had always had a seat for me. And I watched him, and I was just blown away.
Right.
And then, well, you know, at the end, when they say Elvis has left the building, he has. He literally, the second he walks off that stage, we're a few feet from the limousine, and we jump in there, and because he would never be able to leave. The people would be on him.
Mm-hmm.
But after we got out of the tunnel and we were on the road back to our hotel, he looked at me and he said, "So what did you think?" And I'm like, wait, he's asking me what I thought? I mean, just little old me, it mattered. But he wanted to know.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, he knew it was his first show, my first show. But he wanted to know if I thought he did good and which things I liked the best. And it was just the sweetest thing that he cared about a lot of people's opinion. He never seemed to be that kind of guy that I don't care what people think.
What
you know, they showed him that way early in the movie, like, I don't care what people think, I'm going to do me. And to a certain extent, he was very compelled and drawn and gifted to do him, you know, the way he does it.
Well, I'd say he's looking to improve the show any way he can. But, you know, I never got to go to an Elvis show. I always wanted to. Of course, you know, we got all the impersonators now. But, you know, it was like, you know, it was an event. I mean, actually, it was a huge event. When they said it was just mesmerizing when he went out on stage, you know. And like I said, I felt like, you know, of course, I didn't know Elvis, and I am a huge fan, no doubt, but seemed like they kind of made him like he was some kind of a tough guy. But I know he was, no doubt he knew karate and all that kind of stuff, but I felt like he was a little bit more, I don't know, sensitive to the people around him.
Oh, definitely more personable.
Mm-hmm.
It was not, the movie kind of showed him as being aloof a little.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe it was, you know how they have to kind of overdo things or embellish it so that you get the message loud and clear.
But now, you think the movie was more about Colonel Tom Parker, about the way he did Elvis, or do you think it was? I mean, it seems like they weighed a lot on Colonel Tom Parker. Now, was you ever around him much at all?
No, once maybe. I remember the night before I flew home from one of the shows, he said, "I'm going to fly you home day after tomorrow because I have a meeting with Colonel Parker and my dad."
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at that time, there was still, Elvis had a lot of respect for him, and he let him guide him,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people have asked me if I thought he would have been the megastar he was without Colonel Parker. He was already on his way.
Right.
You know, he was on the radar when he got discovered by Parker. But would he have gotten to the place he did as fast? Or, I don't know, Colonel Parker helped create that persona that you could not get to Elvis. You know, he wanted him to do this many shows and kind of stay out of the limelight a lot other than that.
Right.
So that he was elusive, and that was another draw, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And his shows would just sell out. I mean, it's just the most amazing phenomena. That's what he was. He was just so charismatic and.
Well, I will have to say, I think Tom Hanks looked the best of any movie he's ever been in. Tom Hanks looked good. What you got there,
So
Steve?
I've got a question for you. So you kind of hinted at the fact that Elvis may have been some sort of a perfectionist. I mean, it is a perfectionist that would sit there and be concerned about, well, how did you like the show? What about this? What about that? Did you ever get the impression that he was on a mission to deliver something to the world? Do you think he had some kind of idea or concept about himself that was kind of bigger than life, or he was put here for a purpose and was trying to deliver something? Or was it just simply, I like to sing songs? Well, where was he in this scope of things?
I think there was definitely a spiritual dimension. I mean, he had lots of books on different, well, the Bible and different ways, like numerology. He loved, finding the numbers in the Bible and how they connect to events and stuff like that. And
That's good.
I do think that he just was compelled to perform, even loving it. But you're right. People talk about, well, he had a bad temper, this or that. Well, he was a perfectionist when it came to his work. And yeah, he would crawl all over some booty in rehearsals or, wherever he was. He just wanted it to be right. And the part with Steve Bender, where he wanted him to sing the song and he had him listen to it over and over.
Yeah.
So I guess it could speak to him, so he would know if he really could sing it with the kind of feeling and well, he didn't know what was going to happen, but that was just magnanimous. That final scene in the '68 special.
Well, now this might be something that you can weigh in on, or maybe not weigh in on. But I understand that he hated singing "Hunk of Burning Love." "Burning Love" he hated. He got it off his repertoire as quick as he can. And his favorite song, I understand, was "Suspicious Minds." Now, is there anything to that, or do you know that? Is that something that I'm out of range on?
I've never heard him say anything about that song in particular.
Right.
It's very popular, though. I love that song.
Well, I know it. That's like "Looking by Texas." Waylon hated that song, but he sang her, boys.
So tell us this. This would be a special thing. Did he ever sing anything specifically to you? I mean, when you obviously have times, had times alone together.
Oh,
Did the man sing anything to you? What was it, if you can tell us? And what was that like to be serenaded by probably one of the greatest entertainers in the history of the world?
He did.
Right. Breaking news right here on the Morning Dish.
And from the stage, he would come over and sing to me. Walk over to the side.
Sure.
And look at me and stuff and make me swoon and all that, because it was hard to separate. This is my date here.
Right.
Now I'm seeing him in a whole nother dimension. This performer is bigger than life, and I was just very overwhelmed. But one night we were just talking after dinner and stuff, and I asked him if he would sing me a song. And I was very careful because I didn't want him to think I was there for him to entertain me, or that I was just so wrapped up in the performer that I was moving away from the man, And he said, "Yeah, what do you want to hear?" And of course I said, "Can't Help Falling in Love."
Oh, I knew it.
So if he sings me that, maybe he'll really mean it, or I
Right.
And so then we danced. We had just slow dance, and he sang it in my ear. And oh my gosh,
we better stop right there.
That's fantastic.
No more details.
Right there.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt that is cool as it can be. But now listen, we of course we ain't got a lot of time. I hate that part, but anyway, you are Hee Haw, one of our favorite shows, and you were a Hee Haw honey. And somebody posted it. I think it was somebody else posted a video, and it was all the snippets of you on Hee Haw. It was like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes long, and it was just so much fun. Did you have fun doing that show? Honestly.
We did. It was a blast. It was a comedy.
Right.
In the real sense of the word, and the back scenes, it was just a cut up. They were serious about it. It took a lot of work to come up with these corny ideas and jokes, but we had so much fun. And the people I got to meet outside of the regular cast members, Roy Clark and Buck Owens are just like some of the biggest stars ever. Roy Clark, the talent, he blew everybody away with his ability.
No doubt. Yep.
Sing, play anything. He could pick up anything and play it. Do you know the co-stars that would come on every season?
Yeah.
We'd have at least 1 or 2 co-stars per show, and that could be Sammy Davis Jr., Tommy Lasorda, John Schneider. People that you wouldn't think about them being on the Haw. Julia Childs.
Right.
You wouldn't think about them, but because their personalities, whether they are their talent lies in singing or playing an instrument. Everybody wanted to be on Hee Haw. Big Bird. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
so
remember.
fun.
yeah. Sammy Davis Jr., man, I'm a huge fan of Sammy Davis Jr., no doubt. I bet that
He
was
was
a trip.
so nice, and I was so nervous with him in the cornfield, and that I couldn't. Our jokes were on cue cards.
Oh, wow. You were in the cornfield with Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yes, I was, and I
Dang.
couldn't get my line right.
Right.
I mean, we had 2 liners,
Right.
and if he doesn't get one line right, but I wasn't putting the inflection on the right spot.
Mhm.
So the stage manager kept saying, "No, I want you to do this." Finally, Sammy said, "Stop," to the camera people. And he looked at me and he said, "Here's what they want." And he did it. I'm like, "Oh, why did they just say so?"
That's it.
We turned around, did it for the camera, and that was it. But he was just so nice.
Wow. And you are too. No, we're talking to Diana Goodman McDaniel. Y'all can go and just Google Hollywood Lights and Nashville Nights. That's actually a book that's recent released that's she a co-author on with another one.
She's showing us the cover
Yeah.
right
There
there.
you go.
Look.
There you
Wow.
go.
Look.
There you go. And she co-wrote this with one of your your Hee Haw honeys. And but your half's better than her half.
You think it's divided like that? You're gonna read up there.
It's because I have the Elvis part, right?
There you go.
You know what? People ought to know, though. Of course, you get lots of questions about Elvis, but do you ever wonder? Well, gee, folks, this is who I am. There's a reason I was there. You know what I mean? Because you're always asked about somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm.
And for people out there listening, you understand you're listening to a former Miss Georgia,
Yes.
Atlanta Falcons cheerleader.
Yes.
Keep
going. Don't stop
an
now.
an author, a hee haw babe, all these kinds of things. So humongously accomplished person.
Absolutely.
And that's how Elvis was worthy of you. See, that's the way it needs to be understood.
Aw.
Keep going. Keep going, Steve.
There you
Don't
go.
put it on the stand.
That's
Him.
good.
There you go.
Oh, he's wearing a Star Wars shirt, so you know he's a nerd.
There you go.
So.
Hey, you know what? Since we have been talking about Mr. Elvis, I believe this was the last movie he saw before he passed away. He had rented a theater out and went and saw Star Wars. So there you go. See?
There you
He
go.
loved that type of movie.
Yeah.
First time I saw a movie with him, I can't think of the name of it. It was a science fiction kind of movie.
Yep.
And we saw Peter Sellers
Right.
in the Pink Panther.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun. Sure,
Elvis.
sure.
Of course, I don't remember seeing any of it. I just looking at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Elvis was the movie himself. He was the
Well, we're sure
bling
we're
bling.
sure he was doing the same thing. You probably neither one of you actually watched the movie, but that's okay.
yeah.
Platinum.
Okay. Girl, we're about to wrap this thing up. Diana
I miss
Goodman
Georgia
McDaniel.
Brown.
We love
That's
her.
it. That's it.
Hollywood Lights, Nashville Nights. You need to go check out the movie. And girl, I sure appreciate you coming on. One more question.
There's that book.
Wink Martindale's wife actually kissed Elvis and said Elvis
Who's
is
this?
Wink Martindale's wife. Said,
Sandra.
yeah, you know her.
Martindale.
And it said he was the best kisser in the world. Is there anything to that?
She just said true.
Picture just biting a marshmallow.
Oh,
Marshmallow. All that soft puffiness right there.
oh, wow. You're embarrassing us now.
He was so nice. So such a gentleman, very not aggressive or overly pretentious.
Okay. We got the picture. We got the picture. All right. Y'all go check out Hollywood Lights, Nashville Nights. Diana Goodman McDaniel. She's got a lot of stuff goes on. She's actually does comedian and all kinds of stuff. She was like I said, she's got into everything, and
She has.
we're very, very appreciative of you coming on. Feel lucky to have you on the show, and thank you so much.
Thank you. It's always good to see you
You can-
and hear you.
We'll be seeing you, no doubt. Go back
That's
to
right.
bed.
Okay, I still don't have my jammies on, so I could.
There you
Yeah.
go. All right, girl, you take care.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.